Jake Skinner of the Boxing Podcast, delighted to be joined here by Curtis Woodhouse. Curtis, you said off camera that it's an interesting one, this promoting game. So yeah, how exactly have you found the making of your first event? I know obviously we still have 24 hours or so to go, but I imagine all the kind of finalities are now out of the way.
Yeah, well, I'll just say we've had a learning week. I said to you off camera there, I would like to officially apologise to any promoter that I've ever badmouthed in my boxing career because I didn't realise it was like this. So any of you guys out there, I've maybe been a little bit harsh to take it all back. We've had a very interesting 72 hours, but we're here now. The weigh-in's done. We're 24 hours before one of the biggest nights of boxing Hull's had in a long time, and this is our first one. You know, we're really going to build on this. We're now so fortunate in this area. We've got 6 or 7 lads who I feel can go on and win major titles. So today's our first one, and we start off with an absolute banger with Lewicki versus Red Johnson. In my opinion, one of the best fights you can make in British boxing. I can't wait for this one. Still don't know who's going to win, but I can't wait to see it.
No, I very much assume you're going to be in the corner for quite a few of the fights on the bill. I guess there can't be many shows where the pretty much head promoter has also then been in the corner as well for 4, 5 or so fights on the card.
No, probably not, and I wouldn't recommend it either, because when the phone rings, it's about one thing or another, and sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going. But it's been a learning week, like I said.
Speaking on the fighters, a stacked card, brilliant card. What can we expect from the 3156 stable?
Well, like I said, I think this is our first foot on the ladder, I suppose. And we've got, like I said, we've got a lot of lads that are 5-0, 6-0. We've got Lewis Sylvester, who we sat down with not long ago and said, our job for 2026 is to get you a crack at the British title, down at super featherweight, his natural weight. So each fighter's on their own separate journey. But the thing that I want to do with local Hull boxing and surrounding areas is let's all build together. So I don't care who gets up there first. Whoever gets up there, it's your job to help everybody up. So we've now got a nice batch that are coming together that are seriously talented. And unfortunately, Hull's an area that gets completely forgotten about. But year after year after year, we turn out national champions in the amateurs. And then when they look to turn pro, there's kind of nowhere to go. There's no regular shows on. And we're here to do that. And like I said, we're committed. And if we weren't committed, trust me, this show would probably not be on after the last few days that we've had. So, we've really had to prove our worth over the last couple of days and come together as a team. And yeah, I'm really super proud of this show. I really am. Like I said, we've got a cracking top of the bill, and we've got some of the best talent on the undercard from Hull and surrounding areas that this area has had in a long time.
We're seeing the emergence of the likes of Zuffa Boxing, Matchroom putting on these massive shows. There's obviously Turkey Al Sheikh and the Saudi shows. I know that gets Talksport's the broadcaster for this. I know that gets a lot of attention on platforms like Talksport. How good is it though, to support the local boxing and to have, these grassroots local communities like Hull, like Doncaster, Sheffield in Yorkshire, and showcase the talent that is in these areas?
Yeah, for sure. And I was brought up watching boxing on ITV, and some of the best nights I've ever had watching is when you watch people win the British title, the area titles, the English titles, and that's what we want to do. We're not. Listen, we'd be fantastic if we produce a unified champion of the world. Then absolutely great. But our USP is to create them great British nights. Get them British title fights. Get pride back in the titles. Too many people overlook the British title, and all of a sudden they just want to skip it and bypass it. And I say this all the time. There's only one reason for that. It's because it's hard to win the British title. You have to go through some real fighters to get there. And there's a lot easier routes now. People want to take them easier routes. Where we want to say, listen, we're going to give you an opportunity at the British title. You do your bit, we'll do our bit, and we're going to bring the massive nights back to Hull. We said to Lewis Sylvester, we don't want you having to go to London to fight for a British title. Why can't we get you a shot here in your hometown and give you every opportunity of winning it? So that's what we want to do. We want to bring the big domestic nights back to Hull.
I don't want to talk a bit about Talksport. Massive. We know how big of a radio station they are. Really passionate about boxing. How good is it to have a broadcaster such as Talksport for your first ever professional event?
Well, when we're sitting down to speak to fighters, telling them that we've got the Talksport platform, I'll be honest, it goes a long way. And Talksport have, over the last probably few years, become the leading promoters of boxing. They have a real loud say on what happens in domestic boxing for sure, and across the world. So to be partnered with them for our first show, is massive. You know, without blowing our own trumpet, I don't think too many people jump out the gate with their first show with a show like we're putting on. And like I said, for Talksport to look in and think, tell you what, we'd like to be a part of that as well, is amazing for our brand. And like I said, it makes it a lot easier when I'm ringing fighters up and saying, you fancy coming on our show, this is our platform. Everyone's like, oh wow, yeah, Talksport, we'll have a piece of that. So yeah, very, very grateful for them for giving us that opportunity.
Now, a promoter I know very well, Izzy Azif, whenever I interview him, he always has a saying that on Saturday night he goes into fan mode. I know you won't be doing that because you'll be in trainer mode, but for the fans that are coming to the event, just what can they expect on Saturday night?
Well, I think if you go through the card, we've got a lot of big punches. You know, I expect a few knockouts on this card. I don't expect these fights to go the distance. And like I said, at the top of the bill, we have a genuine 50-50. And I could sense up there in the head-to-head that there's a little bit of unsaid needle there. So like I said, I can't wait for that. We have Ted Jackson, who's got a new trainer, who's saying he's expecting a career best performance. We have Harry Powell with 3 knockouts in a row, looking to make it 4 against a really tough, durable kid. Harry's stepping up to his first 8-round fight and moving down to middleweight, so really, really looking forward to that one. And like I said, Louis Sylvester, we've made a promise to him that we're going to get him a crack at the British title in 2026. So this is his first one back with us, and then we're going to try and position him then. So listen, like I said, we've got all the best talent locally. We've got them on the card, so I'd expect a great night. I'm really, really excited about it.
Final question is, obviously, all preparation, all go ahead. We'll be looking at Saturday. After that, though, what are we expecting from 3156 boxing for the rest of the year?
Well, we have some big announcements, which will probably come after the main event on Saturday. We'll be announcing our second date. We've got 2 huge signings as well, which will give people that, oh wow, it shows that we're serious about what we're doing. We not only want to be big in the local area, we're looking to expand. We're not just stopping in Hull. We're looking to go, I don't want to say worldwide just yet, but we're not just going to be a Hull-based promotion. We're looking to move around. And like I say, we have 2 great signings to announce, which I'm super excited about. Which again, in my opinion, have the ability, like I said yesterday about Nathan Forrest, who in my opinion has the ability to go all the way. We've got a couple of signings as well that are put in that same bracket that I think can not only be British champions but a lot further.
Curtis, thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure.